Hello, welcome. My name is Jonathan, and so I was just added to this Facebook group, and it's a writers group, and they're very active. And one of the topics that continues popping up on that Facebook feed, I guess, is about female characters. And I was going to write kind of a rant, I guess, on female characters, but then I decided why not just make a video and then just tell you face to face. So how to craft a female character. And one of the things that I should say is that being a female is not the most important trait. Now, before you blast me, let me just explain myself. The fact that a character is a female character, I mean, it's an important trait, but it shouldn't be the most important thing. Just like being a male character should not be your defining attribute. This stems a little bit deeper than that, down into the character of a person. So what makes a character? One of the things that makes a character is personality. You know, what is this character like in certain situations? Is this character a mean kind of character, or a selfish character that does things for her own personal gain? You know, since we're talking about female characters. What are some of the things that motivates the characters? What does she need that propels her forward in the story? You know, what are the fears? What is something that anytime she encounters this certain situation, it fills her with dread? You know, those are questions that I think need to be answered. In addition, I mean, I guess, let me just say that it is important to pick the gender. It is important to say, okay, when you're building a character, a man or woman. And that's totally fine to go, and because you have to start somewhere. But you shouldn't end there and say, well, there's my female character, let's start writing. You have a lot to do before you begin writing. Like I said, motivation, fear. You have to figure all these stuff out. Internal conflict. You know, is she at odds with a greater power, but she still has to obey this greater power because if not, she's going to die? Or a relative is held hostage and she has to do something, you know, stuff like that. Or maybe an external conflict like a physical ailment. I'm writing this short story science fiction collection that's not going to come out for a very long time, but one of my characters suffers from osteogenesis imperfecta. It's basically brittle bone disease. So that's a conflict that she has to deal with in addition to all the other things that she has to do. She's also a pilot, right? So she's in a fighter squad of pilots. So fortunately, she doesn't have that much physical strain on her body until her plane goes down in a derelict spacecraft that's full of zombies. Not zombies, but let's just go with that for now. That makes it interesting because she has an external conflict, internal conflict, and she's going to have to get out of that situation with this disease that she has. So I feel like this makes a character that's very versatile, and it's a great baseline for a character to build on that character for sure. Knights Without Kings, which is coming out next month. Like, I cannot believe this is coming out next month, December 16th. And one of my primary characters, her name is Elamaya Farnes, and she is a female knight. And that's just the superficial aspect of this character. Because from there on, you have all these other attributes to this character that make her more interesting. You know, she's actually a genuine spirit. She is a very pious person, so she believes heavily in the religion of the land. And she's a big part of that too. She is a holy knight captain of the Silver Angels platoon, so she has a lot of authority within this religion too, and she follows it pretty much blindly. But she's still a good spirit. She's genuinely good and genuinely believes in the orders that she's given because she's ordered to go into war. So this order doesn't conflict with her personality and her morality because she believes it to be an order of God. So she says, I'm following God, or their God, which his name is Oridmir. I'm following Oridmir into battle, so I am blessed. And this is God's will. So she is not at odds with herself in killing these other people. So I think that's a very interesting, perspective to take with this female character, because it adds a different form of gravitas later when she realizes all the things that she's doing and how she reacts to it, seeing as she's a pious individual. So being a female shouldn't be as important as their internal conflict, external conflict, motivation. If you're trying to figure out how to write a character, specifically a female character, that's just the beginning. Then you go on to the other things, to write to write it realistically. You know, I noticed in some of the comments is that some of the characters that people write that are female characters don't talk to each other, or they're very flat. And the reason for that is because they were not fleshed out. You know, you don't flesh out a character, all you just say, oh, she's a female mage. Boom, that's it. Well, of course it's going to be a flat character. Of course when you read it, it's going to come off as boring because there is no substance to this character. And I've written characters like this too, and on purpose, but they were side characters. They were tertiary characters. This should not be the case with your primary character. Flesh out your character, be it male or female, before you start writing. Once you do that, then you can go into an amazing story, because that'll keep you captivated with a primary character, because this primary character is real and it feels real to you. This should be your primary focus in writing a character, specifically a female character. Now, I know I've gone into a couple other topics I just glazed over, and if there's something about these topics that you want me to cover in more detail, I certainly can, and I'd love to. So remember to comment in the comment section if there's something that I missed or something that you would like me to cover in greater detail, and I'll certainly do that. Remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget December 16th of 2017, which is next month in a couple weeks, the book Knights Without Kings will be released. So check out the characters that I wrote, check out the story that I wrote, and if it's interesting to you, well, let me know about it. Give me a good review, or a bad one, I mean, I guess, whatever you're wanting to do, and let me know, okay? Alright, well, I hope you have an amazing day, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Have an amazing day.